Why you do this? Understand yourself. Someone is kind to you, and your body tightens. A compliment, a favor, and something in you stays alert, because your brain already expects the hidden cost. And in this video you'll finally see why your mind reacts this way. You smile, you respond politely, you say thank you, but underneath that surface reaction, there is tension. You are not fully relaxed. You are scanning, you are waiting, because experience taught you that kindness is rarely just kindness. It is often the beginning of something else, something that costs you later. So when someone shows up with warmth, generosity, or patience, your system does not immediately feel safe. It feels alert. It asks quiet questions. What do they want? What will this turn into? When does the shift happen? You are not rejecting goodness. You are bracing for the pattern that used to follow it. And that brace happens automatically. But that reaction is not paranoia. It is pattern recognition your nervous system built early. Some people develop an unusually sharp ability to detect hidden shifts in people. The moment generosity becomes leverage, the moment warmth becomes expectation. Your brain learned to read the second half of interactions before most people even notice the first. That kind of emotional forecasting is not weakness. It is a survival intelligence built in environments where kindness sometimes came with a price. So what you call distrust may actually be a nervous system trained to detect social power dynamics quickly and accurately. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your body expects the worst after something good, and how to keep your discernment without living in constant tension. You might notice that you downplay compliments. You deflect help. You feel uncomfortable receiving without giving something back immediately. If someone is overly understanding, you search for the hidden layer. If someone forgives you easily, you expect it to resurface later. Your body never fully settles into the moment. It prepares for impact. Even in healthy environments, your reactions can feel out of proportion. A simple favor feels loaded. A generous act feels strategic. You replay interactions afterward, trying to decode subtext. Other people experience the gesture and move on. You experience the gesture and prepare. That preparation is not random. It was learned. Your nervous system does not distrust kindness for no reason. It learned that positive signals were sometimes followed by negative outcomes. Affection that turned into control. Support that became leverage. Praise that later justified criticism. The brain is designed to link sequences, so it remembers not just the good moment, but what came after it. When patterns repeat, the body adapts. It stops reacting to kindness as a standalone event. It reacts to kindness as the first step in a sequence. That sequence may no longer be happening in your present life, but your system does not operate on intellectual timelines. It operates on remembered patterns, and remembered patterns feel real in the moment. The trigger is rarely dramatic. It is subtle. Someone offers help without being asked. Someone expresses care without conditions. Someone shows up consistently. Instead of relief, you feel unease. Because consistency used to be temporary. Because care used to shift. Because the good part never lasted. So your body anticipates the shift before it happens. You look for micro signals of change. A different tone, a delayed message, a small boundary. And when you detect even neutral variation, your system interprets it as confirmation. See, here it comes. The emotional reaction is not about the present moment. It is about preventing the old ending. When kindness feels suspicious, your nervous system moves into protective mode. Heart rate increases slightly, muscles tense subtly, attention sharpens. You become observant, analytical, prepared. This is not conscious strategy. It is reflex. Your body is trying to stay ahead of potential harm. Protection often feels like skepticism. But underneath skepticism is fear. Fear of being blindsided, fear of emotional debt, fear of losing control. Your system would rather assume the worst and be wrong than assume the best and be hurt. That calculation happens in milliseconds, and it feels logical because once it was. Expecting the worst creates constant background tension. You cannot fully receive, you cannot fully relax. You are evaluating instead of experiencing. That mental load accumulates. Over time, relationships start to feel exhausting, even when nothing overtly bad is happening. This exhaustion is not caused by other people's intentions. It is caused by the vigilance you maintain. You are running predictive models constantly. What will they ask for later? When will the mood change? How do I stay prepared? That cognitive effort drains energy, and then you interpret the fatigue as further proof that closeness is risky. The root often lives in environments where love was inconsistent, where warmth could disappear without warning, where support came with expectations that were never clearly stated. You learned that good moments required caution. Because they were unstable, because they could flip, children adapt to unpredictability by becoming anticipatory. They study tone, they memorize patterns, they try to stay ahead of emotional shifts. That vigilance becomes intelligence, but it also becomes tension. And when you grow up, the intelligence remains, even if the environment changes. Your body still prepares for instability, even instability. Your brain essentially learned to track the hidden sequence behind kindness. What happens after the good moment? That means your system developed a kind of relational forecasting, predicting when warmth might later turn into pressure, guilt, or obligation. What feels like trust issues is often a nervous system that became extremely skilled at reading the emotional economy of relationships. Over time, distrust of good intentions can become part of how you define yourself. You call yourself realistic, guarded, independent. You pride yourself on not being naive. And there is truth in that strength. But there is also isolation. Because if no gesture is clean, no connection is simple. You may tell yourself that expecting the worst keeps you safe. And sometimes it does, but it also prevents full experiences of care. When identity fuses with protection, letting your guard down feels like losing yourself. So you maintain suspicion not just as a habit, but as a trait. Breaking this pattern does not mean blindly trusting everyone. It means separating past sequences from present evidence. It means noticing when your body braces and asking what it is protecting you from. That pause creates space between stimulus and story, and space changes outcomes. Instead of assuming a hidden cost, you gather data. You observe consistency over time. You allow small acts of care to exist, without immediately attaching future consequences. This is gradual. It feels unnatural at first, but repetition in safe environments rewires expectation, not through force, but through new experience. Kindness does not automatically equal manipulation. Generosity does not automatically equal control. Your past linked those concepts for a reason, but links can be updated, not erased, but revised. You can hold caution and openness at the same time. Reframing does not make you naive. It makes you flexible. You move from global distrust to contextual evaluation. You learn to assess individuals instead of projecting patterns onto everyone. And in that shift, the world becomes less threatening, not because danger disappears, but because your perception becomes more precise. Transformation begins when you realize that expecting the worst is not intuition. It is conditioning. Intuition feels calm and clear. Conditioning feels tense and urgent. Learning to tell the difference is powerful, because it restores choice. When you slow down enough to differentiate fear from insight, you stop reacting automatically. You respond deliberately. You allow kindness to exist long enough to evaluate it properly. And sometimes, you discover that nothing negative follows. That discovery challenges the old script, gently but consistently. There is relief in not scanning every interaction for hidden agendas. There is relief in receiving without immediately calculating repayment. Your body begins to soften when it experiences consistency without cost. That softening may feel unfamiliar, even vulnerable, but it is also stabilizing. Relief grows through repetition. When kindness remains kindness over time, your nervous system updates. It learns that sequences can end differently. It learns that care does not always convert into control. And that new learning reduces baseline tension. Integration means acknowledging that your distrust once protected you. It kept you alert. It prevented repeated blindsiding. It was intelligent, but protection that never powers down becomes prison. So integration is not self-criticism. It is calibration. You keep discernment. You release hypervigilance. You trust patterns, not promises. You allow evidence to guide you, instead of history alone. This balance feels steadier, not naive, not guarded, just grounded. Empowerment is the ability to receive without collapsing, and to question without panicking. It is knowing that if someone's intention shifts, you can handle it. You do not need to preemptively armor yourself against every possibility. You can trust your capacity to respond. That shift changes relationships deeply. You become less reactive, more present, less suspicious of warmth, more able to enjoy it. And ironically, this calm clarity makes manipulation easier to detect, not harder. Because you are no longer projecting danger everywhere. The goal is not to become blindly trusting. The goal is to stop assuming that every act of kindness is the beginning of a trap. Your nervous system learned to connect kindness with future cost. So the first step is gently interrupting that automatic sequence. The next time someone does something kind for you, notice the moment your body braces. Instead of immediately analyzing their motive, try one very small pause. Take one slow breath, and say internally, "This is kindness." The future has not happened yet. That sentence may sound simple, but it interrupts the old prediction loop. It reminds your brain that the current moment is only the current moment. Then allow the gesture to exist for a few seconds without decoding it. You are not turning off discernment. You are simply giving reality a chance to show you what actually happens next. The fact that you're still here means some part of you knows your distrust didn't come from nowhere. Your nervous system learned that kindness sometimes came with a hidden cost. So it built a powerful ability to predict emotional shifts before they happened. That ability kept you from being blindsided, but something in you may be ready to stop expecting every good moment to collapse. So the real question becomes, is this kindness actually unsafe, or is my body remembering an old ending? Because the moment you ask that, the pattern loosens. And here's the question I want to leave you with. How many moments of genuine care might you have missed because your system was preparing for the price?